just so long as it's not a single-family home. You know, I don't want a single-family dwelling, you know, but an accessory use building, you know, whether it be a garage or whether it be a shed, something that I don't have a problem with, you know, and I know we wanna maintain the beauty of the land, you know, but it's up to him. Can't see it from my yard, you know, but,
You have to create frontage.
what's that?
You have to have frontage, put a lot like a garage on.
You still,
You have to gain access to the garage.
right, but if he's
You know,
got,
if he went and put a shed back on there, probably get a building permit for a shed, not a problem, as long as it stays within zoning. I'll bet you.
I wouldn't be interested in walking 250 feet to my shed, just, so, I wouldn't even want another shed back there.
There's a smokehouse. You have your smokehouse back there, you know.
You get no access to it, so I don't think you're ever gonna wanna build something on a piece of property like that unless Juniper Road was built.
And
You know,
again,
that access point from,
right, and if those other two people, the purpose, people who have these other two lots decide to combine the lots and they have the adequate frontage and they decide to improve Juniper Road, and he wants to put a garage there, again, I don't have a problem so long as it's within the zoning, setbacks are met and all that other stuff.
you put a utility building of some nature there.
Right.
Michael?
So if we make a motion to do what Steve just described, do we have to put a value on it tonight?
No, we're gonna put it out, he's gonna bid on it.
Yeah, it's an auction.
Right, okay.
He's gonna
'Cause-
bid it.
yeah,
And
'cause
then we
it-
either accept it or we reject it.
All right, because it says,
A
I saw the
minimum bid
line
price,
here
right,
for a
right.
minimum bid, but I was hoping we didn't have to do that. That's good. Okay. So let's see if we can get this written again.
Separate building lot.
How we want to write the motion.
I'm just looking at.
I think the motion is that we're going to offer it, go out to bid on this particular property, right, with the restriction, as discussed, that it would not be used as a buildable lot. And the appropriate legal language for that, I'm not sure of. And maybe that's part of our problem, is our motion should be intent with asking the town administrator to have town council draft up the appropriate language that matches our intent.
Yeah, I think you could, Michael, if you take a look at what's been done as a draft, take out the minimum bid,
Mm-hmm.
and then just take a look at option one, and just change that to in and of itself as a separate, non-buildable lot.
Should we say in, anything about the deed restriction? In the,
The intent is
That would be the restriction. That would be a deed restriction
the
on.
non-buildable lot.
It's not buildable lot. And then maybe we want to, in order to address the concerns that were raised, in that, you know, this lot shall not be combined with any other lot.
right, those words.
I agree,
You know,
good point.
That way, it wouldn't create the frontage issue if you were to join it with your other house. So you get two separate tax bills in perpetuity, and you can never join the two. And if you sold it to somebody else, they couldn't join it with theirs either, you know. So if you were to sell that to the,
Well, what, Steve, what do you think? Look at number two. Does that satisfy it, do you think? The additional
used
portion?
to satisfy minimum zoning for construction on or use of any building on adjoining land. No, because it wouldn't be on adjoining land necessarily. What happens is he would combine the two, right? And then subdivide it again,
Okay.
having enough access for two lots. That's what could happen, has happened. Has
In and of
happened.
itself as a separate non-buildable lot, and this lot shall not be combined with any other adjoining lot.
Well, that land across the street isn't adjoining, so you want to write it so that land can't, it's not adjoining, can't be connected with it.
No.
It wouldn't be, no, the concern
No,
is,
that was brought up from the point of view that if that particular landowner went
Would have
out
bid on
and
this.
bid on this too,
He would
then,
then have two buildable lots.
He would
Two
have-
buildable lots, the
right.
two that he could adjoin across the dirt road, or the paper street, and this one.
which means he cuts the cost, or shares the cost of doing the street
Right.
by the two
Right,
lots.
so if you're going to now say, it's an unbuildable lot,
Right.
it's not to be adjoined with any other lot.
Okay, so in itself, as a separate non-buildable lot and cannot be combined with any adjoining land.
Shall not be.
Okay, so say shall not be combined, okay.
Shall not.
Shall not be the adjoining
Another lot?
land. Okay.
Does it have to be,
You wanna give it a try?
Shall not be,
Shall not be combined
combined with any
any other.
adjoining land,
That's what I have.
Any adjoining
That's what I
land.
wrote.
right, any adjoining land.
And in itself as a separate non-buildable lot and shall not be combined with any adjoining land.
Correct. So that means it's freestanding all by itself forever, and it's not buildable.
And these restrictions are intended to run in perpetuity.
So, you ready for me to give it a whirl?
You could, I'd add that last part in too.
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
These restrictions are intended to run in perpetuity.
Intended, you said?
why intended, which is why not, or not to,
Well, this is for advertising purposes, so when you do the deed restrictions, there's no, first of all, there's no misunderstanding on anybody's part who's bidding on it. And then the legalese and language to effectuate it, the lawyers will work out.
That long.
And again, this
They
does
fault
not
the lawyers.
necessarily,
Everyone has to make a living.
but this does not necessarily preclude them from putting some other structure on,
We'll leave that,
accessory use, accessory structure.
I would just leave that alone
Yeah,
and let
CPC
whoever,
manage,
yeah,
right.
let them deal with CPC. and
Don't
local
ask
level.
Last word you said?
In
perpetuity?
Spell it.
Perpetuity.
Perpetuity. P-E-R. P-E. T-U-I-T-Y.
P-E-T-U.
Yeah. Per,
Got it.
Perpetual.
Close enough.
So you weren't in the spelling bee contest?
Like I said, I can launch a missile, I just can't spell any words.
Okay,
All right.
Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to sell by auction town-owned land designated as map 43, parcel 53, located at 4 Juniper Road, in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 60, Section 77B, In-
subject to the following.
subject to the following restrictions. In itself, as a separate non-buildable lot, and shall not be combined with any adjoining land. These restrictions are intended to be perpetuity.
To run, to run.
Run?
To run in.
In, okay, run.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Prisco. Do
I'll
I hear a
second
second? Seconded by
Sec-
Mr. O'Leary. All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye, opposed? It's unanimous. The next phase will be an advertisement paper with some time frame for submitting a closed bid. And there'll be a bid opening, usually by the town administrator.
I think
Which
the
will be-
language is gonna have, the language of our motion is gonna have to be double checked by town
We
council,
will.
because they've
Yeah,
worked on these things over the years,
Yeah,
trying to,
and if you can't read my trick and scratch it, I'll give them a comment.
I'm so glad I don't do that anymore.
she has you recorded.
we'll contact you.
By the time you see it.
My hand goes like this.
What parcel are we on now?
Good luck.
We're on map 60, parcel 42,
Thank you.
274,428 square feet on 7 Russ Lane. And I suspect we have some people here that are interested in that parcel. Is there some history that you might want to bring us up to speed on?
Warren was trying to tell me if he had a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
on that. I've been out to take a look at it, it's wooded, downhill. It is, I believe, only a 20-foot frontage there. If more can be created, we've got to allow it to create some kind of subdivision. I don't know what the terrain is like, I didn't walk down there, it's heavily wooded. But North Hill and Russ Lane was done 30 years ago, I think, 25, 30 years ago. Someone
75.
said,
But it's, we got a memo from Heidi a little bit, if you
I
want
don't
to,
have that number. So
you want to reference it?
techniques have changed, construction techniques have changed. You know, we've done stuff that people wouldn't have touched 15 years ago, that we've subdivided recently for houses, so. And property values are up to 274, I don't know what that comes out to acreage for lots, so there's a few in there, 5, 6.
Are all these lots off of Russ Lane, with
It's
the
just-
exception of that one, developed?
Yes.
So there's
Yeah.
homes on all of them? So there's a 30-foot entrance into lot
They're
42.
gonna gain 20 feet, so if they can gain 20 feet, now they've got,
This is the applicant, right here, 18. Right there.
Yeah.
they gain 20 feet of frontage from someone by purchasing the whole lot and combining it, or by buying a,
Wish I saw
piece
that
of
earlier.
it, lot, because they have more,
I would have bailed you out.
then they're gonna be able to get access, and then they can build a new subdivision right there. So that's something for you to consider if you're gonna sell it for another use.
Mhm.
What's possible use would be.
Well, let's hear from the people that are interested in the property. Would you come up to the podium if you, I don't know.
I'd be speaking against considering it, so is anybody here
Oh,
in
okay.
favor of, is anybody interested in purchasing it?
That's what I thought.
I'm a butter there,
You're in a butter?
got 43 hours right next to it.
Well, members, you have a letter in your packet on this? The gentleman that expressed an interest in the property.
43 real, all right?
Yep, that's it.
So it abuts to me.
Parcel 18.
So you're the gentleman that submitted the letter?
Yeah, right. That's in the office.
So you're interested in the parcel?
Yes, I was interested, yeah,
Okay. And your parcel's 18?
right.
Okay. And gentlemen, just so we understand who's who here.
I would be speaking against considering selling. I'm not interested in purchasing it, but I was gonna ask if you had available to you a memorandum that was written to the previous town administrator in 2000.
We have that.
That's the thing that Heidi provided?
No, but I have it.
No.
Oh,
I have it in my file, October 2nd, 2000.
Yeah, I think we have it in here too.
So, based on the
Right here.
information,
You have it in your packet.
okay.
It's the last green page in your packet.
It says the property is not buildable and is governed by the provisions of the conditional subdivision approval and associated statutory covenant, being a non-buildable dedicated open space recreation area. That was from Tom Younger to the board.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When you read, they talk about, oh God, where is it? North Hill, what is it called?
Trust.
Yeah, the North Hill
Realty Trust.
Recreational Trust, something like that? Okay, there it is, the North Hill Recreational Trust. So is that who basically the land's deeded to this trust?
I think that's who defaulted.
Right.
That's who
The town took it by tax foreclosure.
Okay, that's who defaulted.
Because the trust was formed through the subdivision plan, and they had custody of this parcel for
Yeah.
the recreational use of the area, and they stopped, well, I think they stopped filing all their paperwork, and they stopped paying the taxes, so. Possession. That was my understanding a few years back, is that there was a trust, they were filing every year, they were collecting from people in the subdivision and paying the taxes for a number of years, and then, somebody stopped, the lost interest, or something came across in their life, and nobody picked up the ball, and it got dropped, and